All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be starting our new series, or I guess one of them. This one is going to be titled Pushing Over the Edge. I think this series is going to be a very, very important season, as I feel like when I first started playing the game, and even still for a lot of people that I've talked to, the hardest part about the game is being able to basically stay intact and not let a lot of things influence decisions or get you frustrated or basically throw your mindset off of the gameplay. um, and again, I think that's a huge factor when it comes to a lot of issues that may throw off a hand or cause someone to not win the game. So there are going to be a few rules and expectations that I have for this series, and we're going to try to remain the same throughout. And our first one, again, we're getting into a game here, so I apologize. I didn't expect it to go in that quick, but our first one is to look at the tiles we have, and basically we're going, instead of just saying, oh, we'll see what comes in, we're going to pick a category and we're just going to go with it. So it looks like, again, a lot of even tiles. So, and we do have some dragons. So any like numbers, since we do have some dragons, we're going to try and go with any like numbers. Now we do have a 2 dot and a 2 crack, but those don't work together. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get rid of our odds. And then, so basically, the thing that's going to make this Pushing Over the Edge series a little different is we're going to stick with the hand and then just play with it. If our hand basically becomes dead, we're going to switch to defense. I feel like a lot of people, when, let's say I'm playing a hand that needs a pair and the pair gets thrown, oh shoot, now I'm in panic. And a lot of people don't know what to do in that mode of panic. And that's what the series is going to do, is basically show you how you can go from one hand to another, as well as how to deal with situations that could put you in a tough spot. So here we go. We do have a lot of sixes building up now. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some dragons here. Well, let's see. We have 6 and 6. So we could do that bottom any like number hand, the middle one. Dragon number, and then a number. We would just need to get 6 bamboos, which I don't think is going to be too difficult. So let's get rid of... Oh, this is a cross, right? So we have to get rid of 3. Yeah, let's get rid of the 8 here. So basically, this series is going to show, and again, during the live streams, I kind of just do it on my own and I don't really go in depth about it. So I kind of wanted this series to be more of an analysis of how my thought process is when I switch a hand. Because I may say, oh, I switched because I saw potential, but why did I choose that hand versus other hands? And again, it's a lot to go through. So again, this series isn't going to be a one and done kind of thing. But I think for the first episode, we should start with the basics, and that is basically picking a category. Again, when I sit down at a table and I get my opening tiles, my first step is to look at what I have and pick a category. If I can't pick a category, then I pick from pairs. If I have no pairs and no category, I basically see the numbers. If I have high numbers, I stay in the high range, and then I just go from there. Um, that's again the main thing though that a lot of people have problem with is switching hands and seeing potential in some that they may not. So that's what this series is really going to focus on, is pushing over the edge of the game. And there's a lot of edges in the game that cause a lot of gaps between players, and a lot of players, everyone has their own play style, of course. It doesn't take one to, that's pretty easy to see. But again, being able to adapt is really crucial to your success in the game. And I would like to share some tips and tricks as to how I was able to learn how to get over the edge. So yeah, so basically right now we set our mind on this. We haven't seen any 6 BAMs though, but we still do have evens. So we're pretty decent there. And again, there's that 2 dots. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this here. And now we're going to get rid of a green dragon, I think, right? Well, actually, if we do get a flower, we could do 6/6 dragon. So yeah, let's get rid of the 2 dot for now. Worst case scenario, we pass it across and then we don't see it again. But yeah, this series I really wanted to make a long time ago because I feel like that's one of my strong suits of the game is being able to switch on the go. And just knowing, and even if you know every hand on the card and you see those people, oh, I don't need to play with the card because I don't know it. I always bring my card. And the only reason I say that is because no matter how knowledgeable you are with the card, it always doesn't hurt to see it, because if you see something and you're like, "Oh, I remember that," you'll be able to incorporate it into your play style. So, all right. So it looks like we really didn't get any help, but that's all right. Again, not going to go over the edge or anything. We're just going to go with the flow. And that's really a huge thing is a lot of people, I don't know if any of you have any players that you guys play with or have seen them at tournaments, but a lot of people get frustrated with the game. And, the game at some points can be it can be unforgiving. It's like I haven't seen a Joker all day. I've seen my, player to my left won all 4 games because they got all these Jokers. Well, there is still ways to win without getting jokers. That's what I learned when I played the other versions of the game, like MCR, where there is no such thing as a joker, that you really just have to know where and what's going around, and what is the best hand to go for at the moment. And sometimes we make the wrong decisions, and it's just something we have to move on from, and we can't keep it in our mind because that's going to throw our gameplay off for the rest of the day or remainder of the matches. So we did get a 6 bam, so that helped a lot.
9 characters.
That's actually what we were looking for. So again, though, I don't have any pairs on this hand
6
besides the red
bamboos.
dragon, so we did kind of pick an easier hand. And that 6 bam went out. Now
North
I do
wind.
want to talk about what I've learned in 4-player versions is that
4
the quicker
characters.
you call a tile, the better. Because if a tile gets thrown
East wind.
out, it's a low chance that it may get thrown out again. Like,
West
if
wind.
I throw out a tile here, like let's say I throw 1 crack, and player South Wind says, I want the 1 crack because,
9
it's a con,
dots.
but they only have 1 joker. Um, if that's the only con in the hand and they have like maybe a
South
single
wind.
or something, I feel like it's easier to build on a
One
pair
character.
or a pun than it is a con. And let's say I throw the 1 crack and they have 2, and obviously they want to call it so they can have the con. Well, let's say the last 1 crack is at the bottom of the
2
rack.
dots.
That means that they're going to have to play really harder to get the tile that they need. So, but again, since the 6
5
is only a
bamboos.
pun, I didn't take it. But sometimes I may feel the need to. But again, when it's that early on, it's really hard to decide. But again, we'll get into that in the later episodes. So
2
today we're
bamboos.
just keeping it really simple, and all we're going to do is we picked a hand, we know what hand we're going for, and we're going to stick with it.
Con.
Um, and I feel really strong about this hand because basically it will involve a little luck of getting the tiles we need, but we only are missing
4
1 pair.
characters.
And the fact that we only need to build on 1 pair is pretty strong, in my opinion.
9 dots.
So this player looks like they had a lot of 2s, and we did pass an 8 bam, so they may be playing
7
something along the lines of 2,
characters.
4, 6, 8. But I did get a 6 here, which maybe it didn't go around until the last pass. But oh, there's a 6 dot. Okay, see, like I said,
7 dots.
we're pretty good. We're set in stone. But yeah, this series again,
South wind.
it's going to be a toll. It may not be liked, but again, I think if you do take the time and effort to basically learn how to basically approach the
9
game as
bamboos.
opposed to just playing the game, play the card, do I get lucky? No, then I lose, kind of thing.
East wind.
Because there's so many other factors that can influence how a game is played. And
Two
for
dots.
example, like tiles, like throwing tiles, like safe discards,
8
basically, kind of thing.
characters.
Like if you don't know what a safe discard is, then you could be costing yourself the game by passing tiles at the wrong time, or passing a tile that someone may need, as opposed to just throwing it because you just want to throw it.
8
So,
bamboos.
and again, I think I'll make videos on all the aspects, but today our main aspect is just
East
sticking with
wind.
the hand and not rotating, because I wanted to start with the basics of the
8
game, and I
characters.
feel like step one whenever I play the game is pick a category, pick a hand, and stick with it. That is the easiest way to learn this game, because if you don't pick a category and a couple of hands
5
in that
dots.
category, it's gonna be a mess. So we
4
just, again, this
bamboos.
hand is a pretty easy one, so I guess it wasn't a really good demonstration, but
North
again,
wind.
later on in the episodes, we're going to be doing a lot more complicated things that require a lot more thinking,
5 characters.
but not to the extent where it's a lot. It's I would say it's kind of like this series is going to be like a book. You start off with the basics, you get introduced to everything,
5
and in the
dots.
middle of the series, that's when things are going to start heating up. We're going to talk about a lot of things that are a little more complicated, but again, I'm going to dumb it down, make it super easy and straightforward.
Red
And again, there's always
dragon.
that comment section. So, oh, okay, so there's a pair. There's always the comment section, so you can comment down a question, or vice
7
versa. And I
bamboos.
mean, there's other resources besides me on Facebook. Like if you guys have the Facebook group,
3 dots.
there's that as well. So, the series is just going to go over the basics in the beginning, and then we're going to dive deeper down into other
5
aspects of the
characters.
game that could influence a win, or even make you a better player. Most of the time, my channel is about tournaments and stuff, and because Michelle does a really good job at
Flower.
teaching the basics of the game. And I feel like this series is good because the basics are already known, but it really takes, if you want to
Flower.
improve your game and go a step further, I feel like there isn't a resource that you can look up as to, oh, and there's a there's a 6 bam, very nice. There isn't a resource that
2
you can
characters.
go to find how to do something better,
Red
which is
dragon.
kind of what inspired me to do this series. Okay, so there's the second red, but we did end up picking up a
9
soap,
characters.
which means if this goes out
5
first, we could
characters.
switch to this. So we're not dead in the water yet.
2
But again,
characters.
sticking to that hand, this is the basic stuff.
9 dots.
But again, the in the episodes, what I'm going to do is I'm
Flower.
going to do 2 games. I'm going to do basically 2 sections per video, and then at the end, I'm just going to do a little recap of what we talked about.
5
But
characters.
again, during the live streams, oh, and there we go.
4
That's
bamboos.
helpful. During the live streams, I will be going over
North
questions,
wind.
or just going over everything as a whole. So if the videos don't make sense, you can tune
2
in
dots.
there and kind of see more of it, I would say.
3
Um, but
characters.
again, if a subject is touchy and hard to understand, by all
9
means, I am
bamboos.
okay with making multiple videos, and I plan to do that
4
for
dots.
switching hands and analyzing the tiles,
Green
and
dragon.
because it's fast paced, and I hate to say it,
Pung.
sometimes I can't even keep up. Okay, ooh, there we go. So we
8
could exchange
dots.
this Joker for that flower, because if we, and yeah, so that is an option, because I think there's only, yeah, because we have both of them. So um
2
for
characters.
the any like numbers. So again, we did pick the category, and that's where we're sticking with.
5 dots.
And it seemed to have worked out for us. We're
7
in a
dots.
pretty good state right now. We just need one more tile to really get us there, and that is
1 dot.
basically a dragon, or 6 dot. There we go. Okay, so let's get rid of, let's see. Oh, either or. Let's get rid of the white dragon here,
White dragon.
because the red has a higher chance of coming in, because it's been out twice. I just have to get lucky for someone to throw it,
Kong.
basically. Oh, okay, and there we go. So okay.
4 dots.
And then also, if this doesn't work out, we can exchange the
White
green with
dragon.
that. Oh, okay, so she had it. So
6 characters.
okay, so here we are actually going to pun, I think, right? Or do we even need to? Nah, we don't need to. I was thinking if we did, we might be able to do something, but again, we're ready
4
on
dots.
a red, so we're sticking with it. Like I said, sometimes it's really tempting, but
4 dots.
if we're just sticking with the hand and we're making it simple,
8
that's the
dots.
best thing we can do. But yeah, so and self-drawn, very nice. So 135 green, very good. So again, super close. We might have been able to keep the soap and gotten rid of the red, but again, it wouldn't have really got us anywhere because this player probably would have thrown it eventually. But you never know. This player might have picked up quicker than I did, or there's a lot of factors that could have influenced it. So we did stick with the hand and we almost got there. So we're going to do one more match though of this topic because I feel like any like numbers is a really easy category to kind of stick with one hand. But this card is very difficult to switch hands. So that's why I'm again starting easy and we're going to amp it up. Because it's going to be a journey, guys. Like 2, 4, 6, 8 categories, a really hard category to switch hands. But I feel like if you see it, you'll be able to better execute it in your gameplay. So, and in tournaments, that's really crucial because you're going to be playing with a lot of people that are more skilled or have a lot of experience with the game. And that way, maybe one day you'll be able to compete in the big leagues. But again, like I say to everyone, every single time I talk to someone about a tournament, anyone is capable of beating anyone. There's a factor called luck involved in the game, and some days it's just not your lucky day. And if it is your lucky day, then you have the power to do anything. So, yeah, so again, don't ever be discouraged about tournaments because you're not good enough for that. Having experience of things is what builds knowledge, and that's exactly why again I'm making this series. Is being able to have something to relate to allows people to learn it better. um, so, and I feel like again, picking a hand is really easy. When you look at a lot of tiles and you pick a hand and the Charleston is done, I feel like Michelle does a good job of showing you like what hand do we pick? What hand options look good? But then there's not really a lot of content in the scheme of when tiles go out, what do I do? And I feel like that's where a lot of people tend to get mess up. So, and again, we'll make an episode about us messing up and kind of recovering, or how is recovery, how does it go about? um but again, 369 is what we're going for here, or odds. That's really what's looking good. So yeah, that's what we're gonna build on. But again, the series is going to be long, but again, it's going to be a journey. Hopefully it's fun for you guys, or entertaining, or um, what's the word I'm thinking of? Um, Hopefully it teaches you something, basically. But again, yeah, this episode, I just wanted to kind of get the basics out there. And again, the first thing that you should always do when you sit down and play a hand is pick a category and try to pick a hand and pinpoint it, but always have a backup plan. A hand may look really good for one thing, but when you start getting those draws, you may start noticing that another hand looks better. And again, that'll be on the next episode. Is kind of, if we pick a hand and another hand, and even with the first one you kind of saw it. And well, you know what, I guess this episode we can kind of talk about it. But again, it'll get mentioned in the in the next episodes. But um a lot of people, when they see tiles that come in for another hand, they switch. And I don't think they really, again, it requires a quick decision. But again, I don't think a lot of people realize that switching a hand is not something that you should do without knowing what you're going to get yourself into. Because if you switch a hand and don't realize that, oh, there's already been one thrown and a player was thinking about it, like if you ever see in the live streams, if I throw a tile out and someone was thinking about it, I immediately click to, hey, that person's thinking about this tile, because then I know that if I get the tile, they may need it, but also if I switch hands, I kind of can tell what the other people are doing. So that way I know if a switch is necessary, and if it is necessary, will it benefit me in the end? Because if I switch hands and it won't benefit me, I'd rather at the end just play defense. But, ooh, we have a lot of upper tiles there. I don't know if y'all are seeing that like I am, but the only unfortunate part is if we get another one back, kind of the sixes don't really work with the ones. So again, I think we said 369 was our goal, so we're gonna push for that. But yeah, again, it's a lot at first, but when it gets broken down into pieces, it's a lot easier to see. And I was very fortunate to pick up things pretty quickly, because I know a lot of people have been playing the game for many years, and it is a learning curve. And I feel like I am knowledgeable in a sense that I can maybe help you guys with it. So that was the main point for this series. But enough talking. Let's get to the hands here. So 369 is what we're going for. We haven't seen a lot of 6 or 9s in 6 dot or a 6 or a 9 crack. So someone could be using the upper tile 8. Again, if this 8 isn't thrown around, we will immediately be able to recognize that it might be hard to obtain. So then we can switch our hand to it. But again, right now we're just going on 369. We're not really worrying about passing or anything like that, because we're just going off of what we have in our hand. Okay, so there's a green. So this 5, because we do recall, 369 dragon requires a flower pair, right? Yeah, a flower pair. So let's just get rid of this here at the moment, and then we'll see where we can go. We might be able to do, again, any like number with the 3s, but 369 is what we're going for at the moment. So, and there's a 6 crack. Okay, very nice. So we did pick up a tile that we eventually will need. So we're basically, I think, okay to pass 3 here. I say that because if we're going on a 369 category, the dragon, I think there's only one hand in the category that has dragons. Well, actually, there's 2. It's 3-6 dragon, 6-9 and opposite suit. And since BAMs are basically all built, we can get rid of it. Now, we may be able to push for that concealed singles and pair hand for 369 as well. Ooh, okay, there we go, and there's a 9. So we're pretty close to that one as well, because 3-3-6-6-9-9, 3-3-6-6-9,
4
and then
characters.
3-3-6. So really just have to build on
5
lower dots
dots.
here. Let's get rid of that 5 there.
5 dots.
But yeah, basically the main
North wind.
the main thing that we want to focus on here is just picking a hand and
South
staying with
wind.
it. And that's basically what we're
5
doing. I think
characters.
369 is looking good, so we're just gonna stay with it
5 bamboos.
and see where it takes us. And there are a lot of hands we could switch to,
6
but again,
characters.
being able just to focus pinpoint one, and I believe the one we want right now is a concealed, because we do have a lot
West
of potential for that one to
2
build up,
dots.
because we basically we
1
basically
dot.
have 3-3-6 in the beginning with these alone, and then
5
if we
characters.
end up getting another, all we would need for the middle is another 3 and another 6,
East
or 2
wind.
6s, right? Yeah, so basically a 6 dot
1
and then a 3.
bamboo.
So there is potential for that as
East wind.
well. But I'm just gonna move this here so it makes it a little
East
easier to
wind.
see. But
5 bamboos.
okay.
1 character.
North wind.
Yeah, a good thing. I wish my hands weren't
White
as easy to
dragon.
see because and I think during the live streams on at least one or two hands every live
3
stream I get
dots.
is like a hodgepodge. I call it a hodgepodge, but basically that means I have
1
no pairs,
bamboo.
if any. And oh, there's a 9. Okay, cool.
4 dots.
I have no pairs, and basically
4
everything is just all over
characters.
the place. And then I do end up sculpting a hand out
2
of it.
characters.
So again, we'll
3
hopefully get
dots.
that one time throughout this series, so that way it's easier to see. Okay, and
8
there's a
bamboos.
6, so that's good. So if we can just actually get a 3 dot, we could stick with this
8
concealed hand, and then
bamboos.
let's turn that on. Or actually,
4
I'm
bamboos.
gonna turn that off because, well, yeah, we're gonna turn it off because we're going for that singles and pair hand at the moment. So
1 dot.
all right, so there's another 3. 3 3. Yeah, let's get rid of it.
3 characters.
Yep. We're sticking with our hand, and
7 dots.
we're not gonna switch hands yet because again, normally I would, but in this series we're just keeping it fresh and simple right now, and then hopefully by the
2
end of it,
dots.
we can incorporate all of the videos into one and kind of
1 dot.
just do a rundown of kind of what we've learned
5
and
dots.
kind of like in a test in a way, but
5 dots.
in a more fun way because we're playing a game we all love. So
2 dots.
yeah.
1 dot.
All right. So all we need right now is
1
a
character.
6 dot or
9 dots.
what was it? We need a 9 crack, 3 dot or 6 dot or 3 bam.
6 bamboos.
So there's a lot of tiles we can potentially draw here to get us there, but
2 bamboos.
there's only 1 3 dot left. So oh, and there's a 6. Okay. Cool. Let's get rid of the 9 here.
9 dots.
So now if we get a 3 bam,
5
we are on call to win. So
6 dots. 4 bamboos.
I'm not gonna touch my tiles here just because I don't want it to discard something I
South wind.
need. That would be bad.
9 characters.
Alright, so there's the 9. That's alright.
1 bamboo.
So if another 3 dot goes
Red
out
dragon.
before we get it, oh, let's get rid of the 9 here.
9 dots.
So we need to get a 6 or a 3 dot or a 3 bam
5 bamboos.
before the 3 dot goes out. If the 3 dot goes
8
out,
dots.
then we're really in a bad spot. And then that's when we'll start playing defense. So
4 bamboos.
defense is really a factor that any game will come down to. The main thing that
Pung.
I do is I go down
5
a checklist,
bamboos.
and again, I'll put the checklist in the comments. So that way, again, instead of like going back and seeing, what steps do I go
6
down.
dots.
Okay, and there's a 6, so there's only.
6 characters.
Oh, I thought I heard 6. Oh, and there it is. Okay, so now we are
7
ready
dots.
on a 3 dot. But there's a checklist that I go down when I start playing defense, and basically
West
the
wind.
first step is, are there any exposures? If there is,
7
then
dots.
I plan accordingly. If there is no exposures, I basically, when other
bamboos.
people are playing, I take a look at what's out.
1 bamboo.
A lot of the tiles in real life, sometimes
2
people isolate
characters.
them into one area, so it's a lot easier to see. But on an application like this, it really tells me what's
5
out and what's
characters.
available, which allows me to make a safer pass.
2
But again,
dots.
even if you may classify something as safe, it may be,
4
a
dots.
maj for someone that, needs that tile. So it's, again,
North
I don't really
wind.
believe in the idea of a safe tile.
North wind.
I believe there's an educated discard, but there's no
White
such thing as a
dragon.
safe tile, just because, again, you don't
9
know what the other
bamboos.
people are playing with no exposure, so you can only assume. and to
characters.
make a statement that it's safe. We thought flowers were safe, and we even
4
made that statement, I think,
characters.
last night, was, oh, flowers are safe because there's
2
less pair hands, and I
characters.
lost twice by getting rid of them. So we're gonna get rid of this joker here.
Joker.
Those are safe
2
passes in the
bamboos.
end game. If you see that you aren't going to
Green
win, getting rid
dragon.
of getting rid of the jokers, it allows you to get rid of a tile you won't
4
use, but
dots.
also give you enough time to analyze kind of all the steps,
One
like
character.
what's exposed, what have people been thinking about
9
tile wise.
characters.
And again, it's a whole step process,
6 dots.
and that we don't need.
1 character.
West Wind.
I'm afraid, but again, we will just have to wait and see here.
Green dragon.
But yeah, safe discarding really
Red
also is another
dragon.
skill, because it does require some luck at times,
West
but
wind.
getting rid of tiles that you think someone may need earlier than
6
later
bamboos.
is usually a lot better, because then they're forced to put
8
jokers with it if they
characters.
do, or basically push them into making a decision that they may have not
Green
wanted to make
dragon.
at that time, which could also help you in your gameplay because it might throw them off a little bit. So
3 dots.
and there it is. So wow, a hand that
Mahjong.
we really pushed for, that we really didn't think we would get, ended up coming together really nicely. So wow, very nice. I'm actually even surprised that came together, because when I was first looking at it, I mean, I saw the potential, but we really needed to get a 6 dot and a 3, and again, that 3 dot, there was only one of them left, so it was really hard to. It was very exhilarating to not get in. Then, oh, very nice, thank you. Um, but again, we'll go more into depth about the safe discarding throughout the episodes, because I feel like if we talk about it too much now, it won't get relayed. But again, this episode really was just showing you that if you stick with a hand, even the possibility of another hand may come in. If you do stick with a hand, your chances of winning are definitely improved. But again, if we stuck with this hand and that 3 dot went out before we were ready, we would have to switch, basically switch to defense or find another hand, which the tiles we had, thankfully, we could have easily switched. And again, we'll go over that in another video about how to do that. But um, again, when it comes down to things, it's just a lot of factors. But I'm gonna link the safe discarding thing in the description of the video, and I'm just gonna keep it there for each one, so that way, um, my everything that I say keeps getting reciprocated. So that way, if you're watching on episode 8 and haven't watched episode 1 through 8, then you'll kind of know what's going on. But again, don't worry if you do miss something in an episode. Like, let's say you miss episode 2 and 3, and then you start watching 4. It's just going to be kind of a relay kind of thing. Like, I'll mention them in a little bit, but if you want a full analysis, just make sure to watch the other videos. But hopefully everyone enjoyed so far just watching. And again, I couldn't have predicted this hand to come in how it did, but it really shows that sticking with the hand and just staying with it throughout the game, no matter how tempting it is to switch, could end up working out for you. So if you guys did like the content, though, please feel free to like, and if you have any questions, make sure to comment it down below. Episode 2 is probably going to be focusing more on the lines of how do I pass in the Charleston, and how to discard tiles if I am playing for a hand. Like, if I have 2 tiles, why get rid of one when I could get rid of the other, kind of thing. And then we'll hopefully after that video be able to start going into the other aspects, like the switching of hands, realizing what is stronger than another, and that kind of stuff. So hopefully it wasn't too over the top today. But again, if it was, just watch the live streams, watch the videos. Play for yourself. If you can't play, this application runs, I think, every day. People are playing on the tables from 8 a.m. in the morning Pacific time to like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So even if you just hop on for a game or two, and it is free, you get like I think 1,000 chips a day, which should get you 4 games at 250. Just playing a couple games and getting familiar with the stuff that helps as well. Also, I believe there is an online thing. It's Real Mahjong. I'll link those down in the description. But there are ways to play if you aren't playing with your group that you can practice on. Because I know a lot of bridge people do that. They have like the bridge applications and they're practicing and all that fun stuff. But yeah, today we just focus mainly on keeping the hand together. And then on our next video, we're gonna be talking about kind of how to know what hand will be stronger, but also kind of be able to start getting into the part of identifying what we're giving people, what's going around, what, if we pass something and don't see it, who did we pass it to? Have they been passing us tiles that could link to something? It'll start getting more complicated. It's not going to just be, simple aspects that, are boring to some because, everyone has heard the basics and stuff. We'll definitely put some interesting aspects that aren't in there. And again, I'm going to be writing everything down. So I'll make sure to input something that's, of use or value for you to watch the video. So, you should probably be expecting that video. I'm hoping by this weekend, if not Monday at the latest, for the second episode. But again, if you guys do like the series, let me know. And if you do want to see anything else, also please feel free to comment down below. Even if it's just one thing that you really want me to touch on, I will make a video for you because I'm sure if it helps you, it will help others. So other than that, though, hopefully this gave you a reason to push over the edge and have a good day.